Welcome to Innovate, presents Entrepreneurs in Tech. Today, we're delighted to have, and we're talking to our special guest, Dr. E.K. Mallela Divarkonda. Doctor, pleasure to have you on Entrepreneurs in Tech. And you happen to be also the founder and the CEO of Transcend Mind. I like that. Transcend Mind, something that sounds very futuristic. Very, yes, absolutely. Something I'm always interested in. And okay, and sci-fi. To me, Transcend Mind, it sounds like something where there's telepathy involved there. It's not,
Yes.
but maybe it is. Let's dig into it and find out more about it. Dr. or EK, can you please give us a quick introduction of yourself,
Uh,
and so we can dive into it? Yes.
thanks, Bob. Thanks for having me on the show, and I'm glad to be here. And I'm Dr. EK. As Bob introduced, I founded Transcend Mind with a core principle of helping people become better in their lives and careers, in engaging in the way they actually engage in day-to-day activities in careers and leadership to transcend themselves into being positive, doing being more effective. That way, we produce leaders that make a huge difference to innovations and creativity and bring about a better society. With that goal, I founded Transcend Mind. I help leaders and executives, find better careers, better fitness, better financial growth, while all doing it without exhaustion, burnout, procrastination. I rely on principles from neuroscience and hypnosis and building better systems and better strategies for leaders where they are on autopilot, able to execute their daily task and sleep better and lead better lives with their families and make an impact in the society. So that's what I'm passionate about doing. That's what brought me here.
You know, they always say, there's an old say, the road to success always under construction. What does that mean? It means that you always have to sacrifice, you always have to sleep less, work longer, ignore all the distractions, no fun, no family, not taking care of yourself, not eating well, not sleeping well, not working out, exercising, or going for a long walk or running, whatever that might be the case. And in your case, you're saying it doesn't have to be that way. In order to achieve the maximum results, you have to be at 100% in control and your mind. And in order to be in control of all of this, you have to be on ease a bit. Your body and your mind have to kind of connect together, and you have to have a clear vision. And most entrepreneurs' visions are clear, but it's a mess. If you go inside their brain, it's a mess. It's a mesh, and I know that personally.
Yes.
So how do we, they say balance really doesn't exist in a journey, that entrepreneurial journey. It never existed. Some people say it does exist. A lot say that it doesn't. It's a myth. It doesn't exist. There's no balance. You have to pick your battles and you have to go with it. And yes, sacrifice is one of it, sacrificing your health. But to me, and I've been through it, and when you're not healthy, you cannot make good decisions. You cannot make the right decision. You cannot lead properly. But it's a how should I say? It's like a double-edged sword. Please, doctor, I think you would be a better person to explain and answer that.
Yes, yes, definitely. I mean, as you said, as most people say, the balance is a myth. Yeah, it is true. Actually, chasing balance is like chasing an endless tunnel without any light. And we often talk about work-life balances, this balancing this with that, and balancing the energy. But that's never true. The successful leaders, what they do significantly different is build leverage through building systems, building strategies, building a state where they are comfortable, not about working harder, but they will turn every corner to help their way of achieving success. You have to turn your environment, you have to turn your relationship, you have to turn. the skills, and you have to utilize everything in a way that the success is naturally flowing towards you. By chasing balance, you're missing out, on the opportunity to be create you to be, being vocal about what you're good at, and be able to, build that real personal system, or systems for your company. When you shift that focus from trying to achieve this balance or perfectness, where we have to be in a certain state of mind and everything, instead you transcend to start building things, start engaging in more advanced state of yourself. More deep, being deeper in yourself helps you achieve that level of significant propulsion towards building that strategic precision that is required to achieve success.
Hmm. Very interesting. You know, true. But are we talking about people already established that, or people on the beginning, or people already established and they want to utilize, as you said, and monetize or utilize everything that they have and they collected to get it to a higher level, to be a better leader, to be a better innovator, or to accomplish more.
Yeah, I mean, that's another myth. Like, some people think like, oh, this person is very established. I have to start from nowhere. Or if I reach this point, I will be more established and more successful. That's a myth. Success is a journey. You have to, at any point, you have to take yourself. I can start today and build that $1 million empire. I can start today and build that leadership legacy. I can start today and build that career, build that fitness. You have to be always in a position of being completely vulnerable and completely be able to restart and rebuild it. So it applies to every individual out there. Either you're struggling or you're feeling like, oh, I have something established to that is I have to hold on. It doesn't matter if you already have $1 million in bank or if you're starting to struggle. This applies to everyone. I have worked with people who have recently lost, their loved ones, or gone into addictions, to people who are already successful, who are working as executives, who just needed that different state of mind to, able to make a difference for the company. It applied to both of them equally. When you prioritize your self mastery, your well being, and your state, yourself as a way of being, instead of chasing this like, oh, I have to reach certain destination. Instead, you say, okay, I am where I am. I have all the things I required. When you are able to establish that perfect, not perfect, but more consistent consistency in your approach, where you are able to, don't have to forego so many things, where you're able to come out of anything. That level of mindset, when you're at where you're saying, okay, it doesn't matter today, something may go wrong, I will still be able to reach my goals that are required to be achieved in this year or 2026, uh, whatever it may be. Because I have, either done this before, or I have creativity within myself to build that required systems or strategies, or presence of myself to bring about that required leadership and change, to build my empire. When you're in that positive mindset, where you are completely free from the need for external validity, and you have your own internal validity to achieve your goals, that's when you have, turned the leaf on yourself to be at the best version of yourself.
Hmm. You said something, and I think we fall into the path of of chase. Chase is became part of, and everybody think. I think we all play the chase game, chasing money, chasing dreams, chasing something that we able to have, we're not able to have, uh, setting the standards very high and just go into the chase. And sometimes the chase takes you into a path that you wouldn't even know what time it is. And you look and you say, oh my God, 10 years passed by, 5 years, and where am I right now? What just happened? Because as they say, time is the most valuable commodity in this world. Because time, you cannot buy time. Doesn't matter how much money you have. You cannot go back in time, and you're only going to go forward. And every minute it just come by, And as you get older, time goes by even much faster than earlier. But then you realize, you look and you say, one time I was 3 years old, like my daughter or my son's age, and now look where I am. Like, where did that go? Everything becomes just a memory.
Yeah, I mean that is so true. I mean, the time is another valuable commodity for everyone. Like the time is precious. I mean, we think of where we are today. How did we get here? And I don't have. If I think of the trajectory I have been, and I have the time for next 20 years. This is very small time left. Oh, I only have 20 years more to do something. That's a very limiting belief, what we call it. So when we limit ourselves in terms of I don't have time or I have wasted time, or when we limit ourselves in any form, like I don't have the wealth, I never built that wealth, or whenever we have a limiting belief, it is a sort of negative comfort zone that we build for ourselves to restrict ourselves from you know hitting that goal, that instead that we know loud within ourselves, if I start thinking like right now I have plenty of time because in 5 minutes I can make a big difference. If you think of how many 5 minutes you have in a day, you can make so much difference, because all every time you think of any activity you did, from eating food to writing a project to hitting a podcast, you only have done in 5 minutes intervals, right? That means you have so many 5 minutes to live from now. Even if you are 99 years old, think of your last year you left in the life, you can still start over, go to college, start over, do your dream life, remarry, or whatever is required, whatever is missing in your life. That last 1 year left in you, you can live to the best of your life. Once you realize that, remove that limitation within you, that stop any limiting belief, whether it be time, money, or the requirement to be perfect, whatever limiting belief that comes to you, when you eliminate that and see for yourself, okay, is this even true that there is a limitation of time? Is this even true that there is a limitation of money? Is it even true that I cannot do something, start over tomorrow? Maybe I can ditch the whole life I had so far because I feel like it is a burden. Only thing I like is maybe my children, my bank account, whatever things you like. If you say, okay, these are things I like, these are things I don't like, I'm gonna completely ditch this because I don't think these things represent me, and remove all that limitations and say, okay, all these things doesn't belong to me. I'm gonna remove this, and anything that is limiting me, to replace this with what I think I should have in my dream life, dream career, and dream family, dream leadership, dream fitness. Is there anything that is limiting? Because if you start over again as a child right now, even though you may be 50 years, you may be 20 years, when you are a child, you didn't know this is a color blue or color green until you came into the world, and your mind represents in a vague representation. If you tell your mind this blue color is green for the whole next 5 minutes, after 5 minutes, your mind will, whenever it sees a blue color, it thinks it's a green, because in 5 minutes you have changed your mind to change the year, the 20 or 50-year belief that you told you that the blue is blue. In 5 minutes you have changed that, okay, this blue is no longer blue, I'm starting to think it's green. Right, in 5 minutes you made a tremendous difference because your mind completely stopped recognizing blue and started thinking green.
Hmm.
So, in 5 minutes, if you remove the limiting beliefs and questioning yourself all over again, is this the limiting beliefs true? Because none of the limiting beliefs that we impose on ourselves are true. That came because we took that decision under pressure, because I felt like I don't have time because I'm under pressure to do something which I cannot. So I blame that on time, or I blame that on money or some other limiting belief, and I escape from the reality that I should achieve this goal that I strongly feel within myself. This, we call it self-actualization. We are driven by need to fulfill our highest purpose in our life. This is called self-actualization, and we always, all our cells, the trillions of cells we have, are interacting within us to fulfill that highest need, the purpose. Every human being is driven to fulfill their highest needs. Some ignore it and put their limiting beliefs in place and put some kind of safeties and measures and try to blame it on time and spend time and kill the time and waste their energy. And but still, even in when they are 99 years old, that purpose will always question them. Hey, why don't you pick up that purpose you always wanted to? Maybe you wanted to be an artist, maybe you wanted to help somebody. That purpose will always be calling you. Don't Doesn't matter if you're 99 years old or if you're 50 years old or 20 years. That purpose never left you. It is your choice to remove the limiting belief that is holding your purpose and to engage with your most purposeful actions.
So what you're saying seems like one of the biggest enemies of human being growth or achieving anything they want is really limited thinking, limited belief.
Exactly.
So we should always think everything is doable, even if we being realistic. Anything is doable, anything is achievable. Because you look at
Yes.
others and they say, okay, they don't have an extra arm, an extra head, an extra superpower that they could magically make things happen. You know, they created that type of access that I want. You know, that type of connection, that type of network. And some of us inherited it. Well, you don't inherit. The doors are open for you, but some of these people screw things up sometime. And actually they end up closing the doors. And somebody who never had access, they created the access, and they'll have that access because they believe that they could do it. You know,
Yes.
they
Yes.
believe. I see. So pretty much basically one of the major factors or the biggest rock that we place in our way in life, in our journey, in our road, in our, is the limited belief.
Yes. I mean, even if you look at the organization level, right? If you look at your individual level, most leaders, successful leaders, that you can take any case of any successful leader. I mean, we have done case studies after case studies from Harvard, MIT, and my own personal leadership. Every leader has built a belief system for their company, belief cultures, and they organize the beliefs and recognize what is the company limiting from. Why are people limiting themselves from any innovation? Or if the team is limiting themselves from, okay, we'll make a safe upgrade now and we will put the innovation aside, they are limiting it. When the true leaders enters the scene, he will question, why are we limiting to an upgrade where instead we can put an innovation in place? When leaders start engaging in innovation, like if you take example of Satya Nadella at Microsoft, before he came in, the company was at 250, 230 billion, right, in 2012, I believe. And it didn't had AI, didn't had mobile phone. It was outdated, running on only Windows as their main program. Everybody is catching on the cloud and everything. Microsoft was almost in. But when Satya Nadella entered, he killed the silos when that were built by Bill Gates, who was very authoritative because he built the company. He was to be authoritative. You perform, you win, or you don't win. And they were engaged in doing some high performance. There was no communication between mobile department, AI department, cloud department, everything. But when true leaders enter the scene, they question all the limitations. Why are we thinking that, oh, you have to be high performing vertically or you don't get rewarded? He questioned, like, you should be communicating, then I'm rewarding you. That's when the innovation grew. When you're cross communicating to the interdepartmental and AI department started communicating with the cloud, with the mobile, Microsoft suddenly boom. Now it's a $3 trillion company because they killed that limitation. If you look at 2012 and look at the Microsoft, their limiting beliefs, and look at now the company and their beliefs, they can hit the sky. There's a huge difference.
They probably a big shareholder I mean, it's not publicly traded yet, but what is OpenAI? Major
Yeah,
contributor and a major
yeah,
shareholder.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I mean, they have made if you look at 2012, where almost company was on brink of closure, to now being brink of something nobody can replace. All that is happened only because they changed the belief system of the teams, belief system of themselves, being some kind of stereotype Windows outdated company, to now being on the edge of everything latest, including OpenAI, right? So that's what the belief system can do for your organization, for yourself. When you replace that belief and start questioning the real questions, put the real question and find real answers, you will see for yourself there is no limitation for you of any sort to achieve what you want, you should always ask the question, what do I really want? And then try to achieve it. And any limitation comes in place, you have to immediately question yourself. That limitation is got to be false.
Amazing. Get rid of the limitation thinking, you know. And so when you believe based on action, then you have to take action.
Yes.
And, taking action gives you the hope of reaching there. And hope is extremely important. So you base all these things together. And wellness is also important. You talk about wellness a lot in your speeches and your,
Yes.
uh, and obviously we don't need to be a rocket scientist to know, but we ignore it. We even know that if you're healthy, you're able to do things, able to move, able to think right, able to see things right, able to, kind of see, there's a vision. A vision requires a clear mind sometimes, or most of the time, because a vision, it goes far away. How do you see yourself or your business or your company where you are tomorrow, next year, 6 months from now, and what are you looking to achieve? And wellness has a lot to do with it, and it's being ignored. And I think right now they're saying that, well, wellness also gives longevity, and they're saying one of the biggest investments that not being talked about a lot beside AI, even if the same level as AI, even more, is longevity and wellness. It is a massive, massive, huge, how should I say, accelerated industry that nobody's not nobody's looking. I shouldn't say that, but it's not being talked about as much as AI.
Yes, that is true. I mean, wellness makes a huge difference. We engage in wellness with the employees. We partner with Novita Solutions, who together we have a national presence of 200 companies where we build the wellness solutions for. Our wellness solutions are proven to deliver 4x engagement, 4x results, reduce the turnover, improve the employee morale, boost their energy. We have seen even the obesity rates drop to the lowest, and employees feeling, they always tell us, like, we get this wonderful comment, I'm feeling 7 years younger now and able to have tons of energy, lost 80 pounds of the weight, and know what to eat and being fit naturally and not having to experience stress. That makes a huge difference to a company, right? So that's why we build employee wellness programs as a fun challenges. We deliver this with precision, personal touch, and tools that nobody can match. And that really helps any company innovate further, engage. I mean, it helps them cost cuts, most importantly related to employee risk, sick days, and any in this world, anything that can cost cuts for the company or, like, goal, right? So especially if you're in manufacturing, or if you're in a startup, or if you're even a bigger company like Pfizer, where we implemented, they have seen a reduction in, retaining the employee is the biggest chunk of headache. Like, when your employees feel cared about, they actually contribute more and stay longer, right? So wellness makes a huge difference, a competitive advantage that every company should have.
Hmm. Yes. Do you think that a lot of the uh, bigger companies and medium-sized companies, they making it part of their corporate structure or corporate culture? Wellness and mental health care and all of that.
Yes, it is needed because your employees are your biggest asset, and your
Yeah.
employees is your second home. Their company is their second home after the family.
Hmm.
And if you are not taking care of your employee mental health and their well-being, that means you are ignoring part of your family, and this is has a rippling impact, because when you are fit, when you are highly energetic, you're not only contributing to your company, but when you go back home, that reflects on your younger generation. Our childrens learn from imitation from us. They like to imitate us, and when you are not looking fit, not smiling after work, they will make that image. Oh, I have to grow up one day and go to office and come back and not smile, so that's going to be my life, and not be happy, not always be cranky about it. I don't have time to do, no energy left. I'm going to be obese one day. I'm going to be, so all that is building a generational trauma. We are leaving that behind. When you take care
Hmm.
of the company, then when you take care of your employees well-being, that completely shifts the stereotype we get pushed into of this having to be, stressed about and eat whatever junk available in order to just get through the day, drink tons of coffee, and I still have not energy. What happened? I mean, I'm stressed out. At the end of your retirement, you're looking to spend all your bills on your medical, dealing with the sugar, diabetics, health risks, because after 60 years, you have no energy to change back all the habits you built in, and you don't know if it's healthy. Even if you're healthy, you're constantly visiting the doctor. And what is the point of retirement when you have wasted all your life for a company that didn't care for you, and in retirement you're paying the bills for it?
Hmm. Well, they say, I don't know how true that is, but they say the biggest killer out there of people is not really not exercising enough or dieting. It's chronic stress, they say. Chronic stress is one of the biggest enemies to human being's body. And I would say also sleep deprivation. I think we deprived ourselves from sleeping, and we depend on other, how should I say, synthetic things that you know keeps us going. And one of them is beside energy drinks, which is I never touched, or coffee I never drank. But coffees, energy drinks, and God knows what other pills are available out there that people are pumping. That it doesn't matter if you work out or you eating healthy, but I think sleep is something definitely it's not been giving the proper attention, and that's why you see an increase of people having sleep apnea like never before. An increase in that, men and women.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is so true. You brought to a right point here. I mean, sleep apnea to chronic stress. These are all. I mean, they are, right now we almost don't even. A lot of people don't even question like these can be overcome. I don't even question like I need to have a better sleep, or I should not be feeling stressful. Everybody works through stress and like angry about everything and think that this is normal part of life. But when you realize these all came because of the lifestyle choices we made. Harvard and MIT study shows that 70 to 80% of all the illnesses and diseases come from lifestyle choices. That is a staggering number, right? I mean, when you are all the root cause of your illness and sickness or chronic stress, sleep apnea is because of the lifestyle choices you made. You have to stop and change, but most people don't have time for change because they will think that, oh, I will lose the competitive advantage, and I don't have time for this. I have to focus on getting my project done, things like that, and they never have time for their own personal improvement. So this is the question everyone should ask: is what is the cost they are paying for it? We are becoming a Prozac nation. Every drug comes out there. Even Tylenol is questionable these days, but because
Oh
that
yeah,
is,
I heard.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so what can help you will have side effects. They're relying on drugs. Like I did not drink a sip of coffee for last decade a single day. I'm still
Mm-hmm.
energetic every day. I don't need that for my energy or dealing with my stress because I have transcended beyond that. I have transcended to a state where if I want to sleep, I can sleep right now for next 1 hour without anything disturbing me. If I never experienced stress after when I started implementing my own theories, and my clients don't experience it too. Like clients feel like very wonderful sleeping, and they can check on their app rates and everything. When you prioritize your well-being and when you prioritize your need, that my personal peace and my personal stress levels have to be at a good level, because what am I working even for if I am killing myself mostly by through stress and coffee and lack of sleep? That type of life, you don't deserve it, you don't need it. Whatever job you're doing, even if you're a busy executive or if you're starting from nowhere, you don't have to be stressed out. You don't have to skip, have a bad night of sleep and bad life, and having to cry over quarrels you're having because you didn't communicate better to your spouse. All that is a junk of life you're putting on yourself by choice. You have a choice right now. A lot of people have to realize this: mind things can be overcome.
Mm-hmm.
Anything
Mm-hmm.
that causing you stress, lack of sleep, or requiring you to be having tons of coffee in order to be energetic or even stay alert, even to stay awake, and all that can be overcome by simple means of engaging yourself in the well-being and interacting with right coaches like me who can help you overcome that and sharpen your decision making, sharpen your communication, sharpen the way you innovate, and instead of getting stuck in these wrong ceilings of limitations of from time, limitations from anything that is telling you this is a ceiling I have hit, this is where I belong. That is, you can instead think like this is where I want to be, this is where I can be, and this is my dream life. And let me help you design that. Engage with me as a coach, engage with me as your well-being friend, and I can help you remove that bottlenecks from the sleep to stress to anxiety to whatever it is, and become better leaders and better person in general.
Dr. Ek, you talk about a 90-day career acceleration.
Yes.
You call it career transitions. Uh, can we shed some light on that?
Yes, true. So I help senior leaders and midlife professionals where they're struggling with this wrong ceiling that they have hit in the career, in the wrong salary, wrong job. I often hear like when I start coaching with the leaders, I think this job is not for me. I need to move out of it. So we developed a system that bypasses all the recruiter noise and need for you to upload tons of resume. So we help executives land their dream jobs that they want based on the value that they can create, not based on, oh, somebody posted a job, this is where I fit in, and they try to fit in very hard, and they know all the struggles, and it's the same ceiling again. They get few promotions and they're back to normal, same stress, same lifestyle, same thing. Instead, when you engage through your value and your creativity and position yourself as a value leader, and we help that position and interact with the right decision makers. So we have built a proven system where we have scaled thousands of leaders into their dream, what we call dream roles of high paying executives, whether you want to be in a C-suite or whether you want to be a director or a VP. We will help you land your dream job in 90 days through
Mm-hmm.
our um, career coaching services, where we will not only land you dream job, we will continue to support you in your post career through what we call leadership council. We will help you ace every decision you make as a leader. We will help you deal with the stress of it. We will help you master what we call is 3S executive advantage. We help you master your state, master your systemic growth, master your strategic precision. This way you have nothing to hold yourself back but the dream you have kept for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, what are you saying, Doctor, that we all have a lot of tools, but we not utilizing them properly to reach the goals we need and achieve what
Yes.
we need to achieve. And with your
Yes.
help, you come in and you will be able to not have them discover these tools or see them, see them better. It's like the tools are right there, they're in front of you. And this is how you need to use these tools that you built and you created and you have them for yourself to reach wherever you want to reach and achieve your goals, whether to be a better leader or take your company to the next level or take yourself as you said, to be from a director to the C-suite of whatever position you're looking for.
Yes, exactly. I mean, when you stop trying to push yourself hard and start building the tools that are required for you to be successful in the career, rebrand yourself and start build the mechanisms that trickles down, because when you start thinking this way, you will also go back to your job and start doing the same thing. When you switch that coming to the systems mindset and achieve something through building the systems, for when from right from the career reach to all the way to actually in your job execution, it brings a huge shift in the way you think, way you operate. And when your success is coming because you build something and it is repeatable, and you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to put 100% of your energy, because you wake up knowing that there is a system that is working for me, instead of you have to wake up every day and go through thousands of jobs, build thousands of resumes, do thousands of interviews and land a bad job, and do the work you don't want to do, and then suck in your life, and you wanted to be a role model for your family, kids, and you wanted to be this wonderful executive. All that is wasted because you started engaging in a wrong way from the beginning. Instead of, when you start building the systems, when you create your strategic precision and engage that way, that way things are working for you instead of you working for the things. And you wake up every day and knowing that tomorrow I'm going to land that interview that is on my way. And when you land your dream interview because of the system you created, and that comes to that system and you engage in it, you will gonna tell that person that I have come through you by building these things, and I'll continue to build for you. That makes a huge difference.
Dr. K, what motivated you to start? Like, what was the tipping point for you to really start Transcend Mind?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I have worked as an executive before. Before that, I was a struggling manager. Was working. I tried everything in my life. I was diagnosed with ADHD. I had past trauma. I had a lot of stress, and I had to find my answers to my mind, because everything, even a small thing, was like a gigantic rock to me. Trying to understand because of the ADHD and everything, it felt like I can see through everything, like it's a very gigantic ball. It was like even small issues to big issue. I needed to know why I'm so different, why what is getting me stuck, because I had to work over hours to do same things that would normally take couple of hours to do. I worked on the weekends, I worked in the night to do the same things, because my mind was constantly blocking. I was procrastinating, I was distracted easily. I knew it was ADHD, but why? I mean, I tried all the psychiatries, medications. They constantly send me from, psychologists send me the psychiatrist to take pills. Psychologist said, "Oh, now you have to go back to psychologist." It was a constant loop. They were, so by the time I realized, in 6 months they racked up all the insurance money they can, and they didn't cure anything. I mean, this has to stop. So I started engaging alternative ways through meditation, Ayurveda. I did. I wanted to study the even further. I went. I studied from gurus from Scotland to England, James Tripp to Baba Lakshmanji Rao in Kashmir. I understood what they engage in mind, how do they change minds, what are they teaching. Then I went to do my clinical hypnosis board certification from HMI in Tarzan, California. After that, I completely transformed. Like when I wanted to sleep, I could sleep. When I understood the deep subconscious nature of mind, cognitive psychology, I started after my board certification. I had to do like clinical trials, and so I had to engage with at least 80 people to change their lives through neuroscience and hypnosis for me to complete my certification. So during that time, I started helping people who were like, oh, had a panic attacks, to anxiety, to porn addiction, to a military veteran who was stuck in a warehouse with arthritis. His dream was to write a book and become a comic book writer with like his uncle Phil. So I started healing them, like putting the
Wow.
glove anesthesia and helping him cope with it, helping him not get distracted through social media. He was after like 3 months of interaction, my client started quitting porn and started traveling, and this army veteran started writing his book and become a comic book writer in Universal Studio like his uncle. So I start these people coming me and thanking me and like inspired me to, okay, this is really working. I'm doing first time in my life something more significant than I could do. And at the same time, my career boomed too. Like I became an executive. I was closing $1 million in sales. I was very successful. So, but I loved that I'm making huge difference to the people lives. So I started helping people more, and found Transcend Mind, become started building more. Formalizing my approach, and building the systems required for it, building the strategies, helping people achieve goals. I brought this back to corporate wellness again. Went back to, so because I wanted to make more impact to more people. Employees started responding well, losing weight, and I mean, that's how I created my journey. And then I engaged with leaders who were wanting career transition and help with the career transition. So I helped one person was really struggling, stuck in a director role, even though he wanted to, reach the C-suits. I helped him become a fractional CTO. I built a system for it that was repeatable. So I started helping more people achieve better careers. Like I helped so far thousands of executive land dream jobs in a high-paying roles. This really helped me because. I like what I do now because this is the dream career. I love helping people. Even when I was working as a manager, and I like seeing people successful. I used to provide exact pack. Do these things, 3 things today. You will become the exactly best person, best thing that company needs. I used to help people right from the beginning. I love helping people to the extent that I didn't care about whether I get the appreciation or not. That's what always drove me. Like people used to come to me for help all the time, even when I was working. Oh,
Hmm.
I'm stuck with this thing. I don't know what to do next week. This project is pending. This activity is on. I used to exactly tell you just have to do this 5 minute activity. You'll be successful. That's what I do with the leaders today. Instead of cut down all this noise and exactly pinpoint the precision where they will make that high impact, high value activities and help them engage better. So I continue to do that now and get paid for it.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, it's funny you mentioned some of the people who are in the military, and which is veterans. Doesn't matter how old you are, an
Yeah.
ex-military, service member. And I think I was talking to somebody who I knew. I used to see him in the gym, and he was in his early 40s. Good shape, extremely dedicated, very focused. He's in the zone when he comes in and work out. And I always used to talk to him just to kind of, just picking his brain a little bit to see what really keeps him so disciplined. You could see the man is extremely disciplined, and he struggled from. He always used to have suicidal thoughts, and I didn't know that. And he's like a lot of this. One of the biggest suicides in veterans that people used to be in the military and they left, and who obviously been deployed to wars, throughout certain places in the world, and they came back, and suicide is a big thing. I was like, I didn't even know that. People in their 30s, some of them were Instagram sensation, and they have their own line of clothing and sports and motivating people, but in the end of the day, they struggle a lot to keep going and staying alive. So they always find new things to get themselves engaged in, to kind of distract their mind. And some of them are successful, but somehow, uh, I don't want to say depression or whatever it is that controlling their mind being, it takes over.
Exactly. I mean, especially when you're from army veterans, like I have interacted few of them, and they come. I mean, they always look into life being perfect, and because they were taught that way, you have to be at a perfect way to wake up at certain time, do everything on perfection, and when they come to the normal life, they engage in this level of perfection, even in their work and even in their family life. They to some extent, whenever it's not perfect, some veterans were like, oh, my wife is not around, then I cannot focus. That's it, shut down. And I cannot take my dog out, everything is shut down. One thing is missing, everything is shut down. So they are always in this perfect range, and something is missing, like it's all gone blank. So
Hmm.
when I mean the when the deeper reasons are that the way you have modeled your subconscious, and it is not aligning with your normal reality outside of your military life, that conflict has to be resolved. And most of what they do wrong in the therapies and think that the problem is this person is not thinking well, this person is no, the person is fine, everything is fine with him, he's just programmed to be certain way, which is not how the world functions. When he comes out of the program, he has to be deprogrammed and then reintegrated.
Got it.
That never
Okay.
happens. They are just left out like stray dogs, and go for yourself, you're done. I have programmed you to be certain person, now you're left out. I mean, you almost hypnotize the person to do wake up at 5 a.m. If something is not perfect, he's going to shoot down everything, shut down everything, and go in the closet, wait till the sun rises. That's how they're trained. And when they come, when they don't deprogram them and reprogram them to be accept the imperfection, deal with normal life, hug people, and accept the imperfection and try to be a different person, you have to reprogram them, retrain them. You cannot just let go of people and say, oh, we're done with you, you're by yourself. I mean that this has to be stopped, right, at a large scale, because you have made their subconscious, which is their second nature, believe in a certain way, and they cannot undo it until you reprogram them to reintegrate. So that's what people like me can help veterans do. That's what I helped Paul go back to Universal Studio, work as a comic book writer from being a so serious army veteran that he can pick up the jokes that he left as a child, reintegrate with his subconscious, that he's able to rethink in a different way. So that rethinking is required at a deeper level, which we call a subconscious mind. When we can reprogram, that's the biggest capacity of. I can help people like veterans reprogram themselves to reintegrate back into the society easily.
Well, you said you don't just work with veterans. You work with veterans. You work with people with addictions. You work with people who lost everything and they want to get back to the game again, whether they lost money or family members or certain things or setbacks they had. You work with people who are in the E-suite, which is, I call it the E-suite, the executive. They want to be in the C-suite, or they want to be, it's all these letters in the corporate structure. You get the director, you get the managerial, you get the leadership. There's so many levels, but, certain people who wants to achieve more, to reach certain, suite in that corporate structure. And that one makes it more interesting and intriguing. Is there a book, more books in the way? Dr.
Yeah, I've written a book, Better You. It's an Amazon bestseller. You can get it
Better
at it's on Amazon, as well as you can get it from the transcendmind.com website. You can go and you can actually get bonuses with it, like your sleep hypnosis audios and few other things, if you get it from the transcendmind.com. So you can
And it's
buy
a bestseller on Amazon.
Yeah, it's a bestseller.
Better You.
On Amazon. Yeah, Better You.
Yes. It's really interesting, how, obviously, I would say you're a true entrepreneur. Not to point out certain things, but how somebody like you are, come in from a different culture, different background, and come to the States, able to achieve the education, the knowledge, the know-how, and the setbacks also. Your road wasn't always full of roses and smooth and easy with no bumps in it. And then to kind of turn it all around and help others, and to become somebody who people will reach out to say, hey, help me with this, allow me to achieve. So with your journey and everything you achieved, beside being a true entrepreneur and a true person that to look up to as inspiring person and motivator, it's anything is possible by taking that limitation, connecting with your subconscious, reprogramming it. And that's what you've done. Somehow you learn how to do it. As they say, it's attracting, it's all about mindset and attracting wealth, attracting positivity, manifesting, the proper word. And obviously manifesting, it does exist, but not in the sci-fi way we think about it. It's more really, it's reprogramming your mind, where take the word limit and keep it limitless. Anything is doable, anything is achievable. And you're definitely a great example, Dr. EK. Definitely a great example. And what advice do you have for a lot of the, I would say, established and non-established people who, starting their journey of life, or people who had some setbacks? Could be health, could be, emotional, by losing people close to them, whether because of a divorce, or somebody passed away, and somebody lost their edge, and they had a business and they lost it for whatever reason. Sometimes bad decisions. Doesn't have to be certain habits, just could be bad business decisions, could take the business down, and then it leaves you where, like, what do I do from now? That's all I did for the past 15 or 20 years. I'm not young. I don't have the the nobody will hire me, nobody, where I'm gonna go, knock on doors, and how to turn themselves around. That's really where a lot of struggles I see happening. As you get older, you could see people on closer age, and you see what's out there.
Yeah,
So
I
what are
mean,
you? Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's so true. I mean, anybody that is right now feeling like they are stuck, or they are either in a dark hole, or whether they are highly successful and wanting to make things even better, this is the one advice I would say, or you have to understand that you don't have to struggle for anything. You don't have to struggle and be stressful, build up obesity, or lose your dreams and adjust to the wrong ceiling, only to learn that I have lived a false life later on, and to curse yourself that I was. So naive in believing that I could not achieve my dream life, dream family. You have to stop that and start believing that there is a help. Right now the neuroscience is so advanced, the mind understanding of mind is so advanced, that you there is help, real help that you can take and rebuild your life. Even if you are stuck in a worst of the worst situation, you are in a great grief, huge anxiety, anger, fear, shame, whatever it is holding you back, there is help to move you from there to building the dream life, dream career, your dreams to build come true. Because realize that there is something in you that is telling you to have this dream for yourself and fulfill that dream, and that is enough to fuel the rest of your life, to build that around the dream, the purpose that is deeply seated within you. Listen to the deep purpose and seek help. You can build upon that purpose itself. You don't need any other fuel, any other past trauma. Just let me fuel your purpose and build the life and career you want to.
Hmm. Dr. Eck, what is next for you?
Yeah, I mean, right now we are focused on career transitions and building more leadership and wellness services for corporates. So yeah, if you or anyone know that need of help, your friends, your companies that can utilize us for either building better careers or building better leadership at your company or better wellness, do reach out to me, and I'm here. And we do offer generous referral bonuses, up to 20% if you refer us to anyone. So we are glad to engage with you directly or your referrals. And let's make this world a better place where you don't have to be stressed out. Let's build in real impactful leaders, because right now the real need is to have real leaders who can make difference. We are slowly losing that grip of leadership and becoming a society where we are living on, soon to be living on welfares. So we want to build leaders who can make difference. So let's build that leadership. Let's build that legacy back. Bring that legacy back. Let's build that innovation. Let's build that minds back. That we can generationally change your children's and everybody to live through the examples that we live today.
Dr. Eck, um, this is really amazing and extremely interesting and intriguing. I definitely enjoyed it. And I would say, we definitely have to do part two for this. I usually don't do part twos, but for something like this, it's very time. They say time is everything, but this one definitely falls into that. Timing is extremely important, especially now. It's another discussion where AI being part of our life and something new that everybody want to be part of and take advantage, and a lot of scared of it. Some executives, some CEOs, we say, hey, I don't know nothing, I wasn't, that's not part of my era. How do I integrate to this mentally? Forget about technologically. How do I lead? How do I push, I thrive, I make everybody follow me? How to. So I think there's definitely, we should do a part two to this conversation. So there's a book out there, and also called Better You. Correct? It's one of the
Yes.
bestseller on Amazon. Better You. Please go grab a copy of yourself. And how people can get a hold of you. For your services, to help them achieve the things they want to achieve and get rid of that block, that
Yes.
mental limit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm on all the social media at Elite Success with EK, or you can visit my website, thetranscendmind.com, and reach out to me.
Yes. Again, Dr. EK, it's a pleasure to have you on the show and on Entrepreneurs in Tech. And definitely, I'm sure our listeners and viewers will find it extremely useful and insightful. And some people hopefully will get a hold of you and say, hey, I need help. Please help me. I seen the interview, I seen your discussion with Bob Shammy, and definitely I want to be part of this. Again, thank you for joining us. And for our listeners, please keep innovating, stay curious. And as Dr. X said, get rid of that mental block, that anything that keeps you limited to your thinking, to your mobility. Mobility means not just physical mobility, mental mobility, accessibility. I think you can access, you can create, you can do anything you want. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming. We'll see you again.
Thank you, Bob. Thanks for having me.
If you enjoyed today's episode, make sure to share. Innovate presents Entrepreneurs in Tech podcast. And if you're joining us on YouTube, please like this video and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.